Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome. This is Morning with Meg. I can't believe it's almost the end of June. And I've got some special things lined up for us today. A lot of twisting, a lot of balancing while we twist. And in the meantime, while we kind of prepare ourselves for practice, please do find yourself your 2 blocks. We'll need them today. And a blanket or a cushion for underneath the sit bones. We'll be taking Gomukhasana, which is cow face pose, as our hip pose later on in the practice. But I want to tell you why I chose twist today. And that is because I was reading through the Radiant Sutras. As you all know, I love, love, love this book by Lauren Roche, the Radiant Sutras. It's a really loose translation interpretation of the Vijnana Vairava Tantra, which is a scripture from the Hindu tradition, faith tradition. And he writes these wonderful meditations that you can kind of use as an insight into some of the scripture. And so the scripture that I'll read today at the end of our class, such a beautiful poem, is all about Kshobha Shakti. So let me read to you what Lauren Roche writes about this meditation, a practice that we can use in our lives, something I think we really need. The technique here is to work yourself to the point of exhaustion, then throw yourself down to the ground. Surrender to gravity. Meditate on the trembling fatigue and be born again. The mantra and the gateway is Kshobha Shakti. There is a yoga of tiredness, thank God, and we are all good at it. Everyone I know is running themselves ragged. Being exhausted by honest work is good preparation for the samadhi of rejuvenation. One of the meanings of Tantra is extending ourselves, stretching our capacity for attention and exertion. There is a sweet science to wearing ourselves out just the right amount. This sutra focuses on the practice of wearing yourself out physically and then, with the attentiveness of a yogi, entering shaking exhaustion and finding therein a gateway to Shakti, the vibratory nature of the life force. So let's find our way first into a centering pose that makes sense in the body, just for how you feel energetically this morning. I would invite you to take to our Shavasana if that feels good in the body this morning. Just allow yourself to completely release to the earth. Maybe hands on the belly if that's accessible right now, just feeling and touching your breath. And as we were doing last week, just, pointing out for yourself those places that feel tired, tight. Just label them. You don't need to become involved in the narrative of why that is. But just paying attention. And I invite you to set an intention for today's work on the mat. Maybe it's that you're going to give 100%. Maybe it's that you're going to pay attention to how the work feels in the body or in the energy body. Maybe there's something else that brought you to the mat today, something else you'd like to take away with you. Whatever it is, Let's fold it in at heart center, either hand on top of heart, or an Anjali Mudra prayer pose at the heart. And we'll open up our practice with one full deep inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, just let it go. All right, let's make our way to our backs and bring your knees up into your belly. Give yourself a big squeeze this morning. So rocking side to side, if that feels good. Maybe it's not too early for a big old happy baby this morning, grabbing for the insides of your feet. Maybe it's just sort of stirring your knees around, but let's just start to feel some energetics in the body. If you're taking those circles, take them in opposite directions. And go ahead and place your hands under your bum, just a little bit, palms face down, and straighten out your legs. Let's go ahead and sort of flex into the feet, point into the feet, ankle turning round and round. Let's hear those cricks and cracks. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees if this feels better for you. And then from here, let's start circling with the legs. Again, we're just going to work and try and touch into how this exertion feels in the body. That's the attention and awareness we want to give ourselves. So tune into where you have to engage, where the work is coming from. Let's take the circles bigger if that's possible this morning. So just feel where you feel this in your belly, perhaps. Opposite direction, one more time. And then let's come back to neutral spine. Remove your hands underneath your bum. Let's bring the knees directly over the hip joint. Flex into the feet, and shins are parallel to the earth. Hands can be by the sides or in T pattern, whichever feels best to you. Let's just give ourselves a moment just to sit in this invisible chair. Connect with the things that are flush to the earth. How your lower belly feels. And now we're just going to take a little bit of a flow on your breath. So, do this at your own pace. But next exhale, just let your knees fall over and hover to the right. And then inhale them back to center. Hovering to the left. Inhale back to center. Just on your own breath now. Own pace. Each time you come back to center, go ahead and find that alignment one more time, that invisible chair. All right, one more time, both sides. And then we'll come back to that invisible chair once more. Cross your right knee over your left for your Garudasana or eagle. Feet and legs. Go ahead and take your left elbow under your right, or just hold on to opposite shoulders here. Let's feel connected with the earth on the back body. And then on exhale, pull your tailbone up and your shoulder blades up. Inhale, dip your left toe to the mat, straighten out. Exhale, crunch Inhale, dip. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, dip. Go ahead and unwind. Find your chair once more. Breathe. Feel the engagement of the back body. Left knee over right and right elbow under left. Or holding on to opposite shoulders. So from here, exhale, knees and elbows meet, and then dip that foot down. Exhale, knees and elbows meet. Exhale, dip it. And last time, exhale. And dip it. Keep your feet together, perhaps. And this time, let's take a supine twist. So we've got our left knee on top of right knee. If this is just a little too intense a twist this early, please feel free to unwind the legs and take your whole body, your whole lower body over to the right. Gaze comes over your left hand. And then there's a sense of just release after that little bit of exertion. Coming back to the center. Now let's cross our right knee over left. And then once again, go ahead, slowly, carefully lower yourself into the supine twist. Too intense, unwind the arms. Unwind the legs. There you go. Back up to center, unwinding. And let's go ahead and rock up and back along the spine. Or you can just find your seated pose. Feel free just to find the exertion level that you need this morning. Eventually, we'll all make our way up into seated. Here's where perhaps grabbing for a pillow and placing it underneath your sit bones would be helpful. And then once we're up, let's take some big circles once again, just round and round. And in the opposite direction. And then sitting up really tall in the spine. Let the shoulder blades float down the back. Keep a tone in the belly. Let the crown of the head reach up to the sky. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and down your back. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Drop your right hand down to the earth, left hand up and over. Inhale, back up to center and taking that shape on the other side. Inhale, back to center. We're going to take a twist to the right, but let's go ahead and try hard not to use our hands to crank. So left hand out in front of you, right hand back behind you, shoulder blades down the back. Use your belly to take this twist. Inhale, back to center, twisting now to the left. Once again, find the twist on your exhale. See what needs to engage, what can let go. One more deep full breath. Inhale, hands high. And then take a forward fold. Let your head and neck hang heavy. Feel the breath in your back body. And then spider tip fingers back. Hands back behind you now. Elbows pointing towards the back wall and lifting up into the sternum. Keep your head on right. Shoulder blades pinching down the back. Belly tone. Lift up into the sternum. Gaze can be up to the ceiling. And then releasing completely. We're going to come to a standing forward fold at the top of the mat, just making sure that your blocks are there. So use any kind of method you need to use to get there. If you feel like a little bit more exertion, it might be fine just to come down and take your Navasana up and back again. Or just like me, coming up into a standing forward fold. So working a little bit here just on release and connection. So let the head and neck hang heavy. Keep a bend into your knees. It's still pretty early in the practice. And maybe some movement if that feels good. If you have your blocks in front of you, maybe hands onto the blocks, just working on alignment in the legs. Let's not worry too much about the torso, just maybe finding all four corners of the feet engaged and maybe hips directly over knees, directly over ankles. Whatever you need to be doing today, just feel free to take those shapes, that movement. Let's give it another full deep breath. Exhale, let something go. Inhale, lift and lengthen, body becomes an L shape. Exhale, forward folding. Inhale, your right foot back behind you. Let's grab for those blocks now, really long in the lunge, long, long, long. Keeping the left knee over your left ankle and hands framing out the foot. Heart is shining forward, shoulder blades down the back. Drop your knee to the earth and find your low crescent lunge. Hands can be at your front thigh if that feels good, or hands high to the sky. Let's take 2 more full deep breaths here. One more breath, feeling the opening of the right thigh. And then hands down to the blocks. So go ahead and lean forward enough so that your torso touches your front thigh. And on your exhale, let's go ahead and straighten out the front leg. Pivot on your heel like so, toes ducking up towards your nose. And hips coming directly over your back knee. Each inhale, you're going to come back to your low crescent lunge. Let's just have your torso stay on your thigh. So the moment it starts to come off the thigh, that's your edge today. Let's just feel connected here. The whole body working into this little bit of flow. If it feels better to be in one space or the other, please feel free to stay there and explore that feeling tone that's coming up in the body. We'll take another 2 breaths here. Inhaling your way back to your lunge. So curl your back toes under, pop the knee up, right hand either to your block or to the floor, and left hand high to the sky, taking your twist. Shoulder blades down the back leg engaged. One more full deep breath. Exhaling, bringing it all the way back down. And let's step ourselves back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Maybe explore a little bit of difference in the back body, left side, right side. Just finding that home base. Bringing your ears to the inside of your upper arm. So if you feel that you're dropping your head, let's keep your head on straight and keep the lower ribs tucked back into the body. Inhale, roll yourself up into your plank pose. Feel the engagement of your heels, the big toe mounds into the earth. Press into your hands. Drop your knees to the earth. Find half plank. Exhaling, Ardha Chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, light in the hands. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right foot forward to lunge. Grab for those blocks once again. Long in the lunge. And once you've gotten to a place where you know this is your edge and you're exerting at maximum capacity, then drop the knee to the earth and roll yourself up. Low crescent lunge. So let's just take a moment to refine. Feel the inner thighs kind of connecting, even though they're very far apart, right? But we feel all the energy of the body moving into the midline. Now, bring your whole torso forward, touch your torso to your front thigh. On your exhale, keeping that engagement, torso to thigh, pivot on your heel, toes up towards your nose, and then back once more. Low crescent lunge. Again, let's just explore. Next time you come up to your low crescent lunge, curl your back toes under, pop the knee up off of the earth, left hand to the earth or to your block, right hand high. Once again, we're finding all systems go, shoulder blades down the back, find the breath. Exhaling your hands down to the mat. And once again, step yourself back into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Rolling up into your plank pose, your choice, full or half Chaturanga Dandasana, up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling back, downward facing dog. Left foot to lunge, right foot follows, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold it forward, flat back. Inhale, flat back all the way up, hands high, look high. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and fold. Send your left foot back behind you. Your right follows, plank. Inhaling here. Exhale, full or half Chaturanga Dandasana. Up into your baby cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhaling back. Downward facing dog. 3 full deep breaths. Looking between your hands, step, hop, or float your way up. Top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, flat back all the way up. Hands together, heart center. Inhale, hands high. Sit down into your chair, Utkatasana. So once again, we feel the energy in the midline of the body. That exertion is happening inner thighs, even in between your ankles. There's a sense of growing energy in the lower body. So belly is engaged, ribs are knit into the abdominals, shoulder blades down the back. If it feels kind of hard on shoulders, find your cactus arms. Sit lower. Sit lower still. Last time, even lower. Next exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Sit your right foot back behind you. Left follows, plank. Your choice, directly to downward facing dog, or taking your vinyasa. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Raising that right foot up and back behind you, pull it through for your high lunge. Now, modification here is to drop your back knee and take your low crescent lunge once again. From here, let's get steady, stable, engage through the back foot. Now, lean yourself forward, just like we were doing before in low crescent lunge. Hands to heart center, get even longer in the arms. Take a twist to your right. So, left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Once you're here, let's use the belly to find this twist. Press into your hands, shoulder blades down the back. Deep full breath in and out. Look down at your big toe mound on the earth and step yourself forward. Utkatasana twist. Or you can just find your Utkatasana and take a twist. Let's give it one more full deep breath in and out. And then coming back up to your Utkatasana. Raise your right foot up, straighten out, bring your right heel onto your left knee and sit down once again. Now hands to heart center. Pull that foot back behind you. Flex into the foot for your warrior three. Body is in a T pattern. Dip your right hip bone a little closer to the earth. Whoa. With control, we're coming all the way back to our lunge. Left foot follows plank. Your choice about exertion. Coming into downward facing dog or taking your vinyasa. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog. Taking 3 full deep breaths. Inhaling left foot up and back behind you. Pull it through. Once again, high lunge or low crescent lunge. Rising up, refining, exerting, work it. Just work it. Now lean it forward. Find that engagement, torso and thigh. Hands to heart center. Even longer in the arms. Now, twisting to your left. Look down at your big toe mound and step yourself forward. Utkatasana twist. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale here. And then let's take that left leg up, straighten out, stork. Left heel to right knee. Sit down once again. Now hands to heart center. And pull your foot back. Warrior three. Remember about the belly. Hands down to the earth. Step yourself back. Lunge. Once again, plank. A little choice. Full or half chaturanga dandasana. Or back to your downward facing dog. At the end of this sequence, we will take 5 full deep resting breaths. So if you need these breaths in another shape, feel free to take them. Child's, even Shavasana. Let's start the breath count now. And after this last exhale, take a look between your hands. Step, hop, or float your way up. Top of the mat. Standing forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sit low. Sit lower still. Even lower. Squeeze on that invisible block between your knees. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold it forward once more. Inhale, your right foot back behind you. Drop your right hand to the earth. Find your twist. Deep, full breath in. And out. Pull the belly into it. See if you can get your heart to shine to the left side wall even more without just cranking your arm back. See if you can use your belly to spin your rib cage. So dropping your hand to the earth, and we'll grab for those blocks now, placing them underneath your hands. Just raise your back foot up off of the earth. So if you have your standing split with hands to the earth, please feel free to do that. But once we're here, let's remember that this pose is a standing forward fold. So once again, we're going to find the torso coming on top of the thigh. Now, with control, let's come into that warrior three shape. The challenge here, the exertion would be just to use your back muscles to pull yourself up. Once we're here, let's keep our right hand onto the block, left hand, sacral spine. Press out into that extended leg. Keep it hip height. Now, let's find our twist here with the belly. Move it. As you can see, I can't go very far. Maybe that hand comes up for your revolved half moon. All right, come all the way down, lunge, and step yourself forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sit low. Lower still. Deep full breath in. Exhaling, taking a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, folding it forward. Send your left foot back behind you, long in the lunge, dropping your left hand to earth or block. Find your twist. Deep full breath in and out. And bringing your hand down to your blocks and smooth fluid movement up with the back foot. Give it a split here. So remembering that torso thigh. Now, use your back muscles to come on up. T pattern. Left hand remains on the block. Right hand to the sacral spine just to keep those hips square. And now on exhale, moving your heart to the right side wall. Unwinding yourself and back to your lunge. Step it back, downward facing dog. Your choice about a vinyasa, feel free to take or not to take. We'll all join up. This time, everybody, child's pose. Keep your knees together if you would. Feel free to use a block if your head is way up off of the earth. But let's just find a really flat, rounded back. Long in the back body. Feel the breath coming into the side ribs particularly. Let's take another 3 full deep breaths here. All right, we're going to come up once again, downward facing dog, and make our way to the top of the mat, standing forward fold. Let's make sure we have our blocks once again in front of us. On your next inhale, raising your right foot up and back behind you. Exhale, find your forward fold in the torso. Press out with the heel, exhaling closer to your torso. One more deep full breath through the heel, and now exhale, knee behind knee and hover. Inhale it back out. Exhale, knee behind knee and hover. Inhale it back out. Exhale, knee behind knee and hover, and then carefully down. We're set up for a twist. So our left knee is over our right leg. And if you find like you're like me, a little cockeyed in your hips, go ahead and straighten out your left leg. Feel free to sit on the edge of a pillow here, just to get that gentle forward tilt of the pelvis. Let's bring the entire left foot grounded into the earth. And then let's hold on to your knee, Sit up tall. Really engage the extended leg if it's extended. And now we're just going to take a twist towards the left, but we're not going to crank it. So you can keep your hand lightly on your knee, lightly on the mat in back of you, but let's find sitting up tall and the twist is coming from the belly. Take a look behind you. Give it another full deep breath. And then let's come around. Give it a counter pose to the right side of your mat. And then once more, back to the center. Cross your ankles. Let's come back into our downward facing dog. So one of the last times for a vinyasa, should you need it, or it might just be finding a little bit of organic movement. Give it a full deep breath here, downward dog. Exhaling, taking a forward fold at the top of your mat. Once again, let's locate those blocks. And when you're ready, inhale your left foot back. So let's really get long in the left leg. Exhaling, finding that forward fold. Inhale. Exhale. Last time, find some spaciousness in the body. Exhale, draw the belly in and up. Find that split. Now inhale here. Exhale, knee behind knee, hover down. Inhale it up. Exhale, knee behind knee and hover. Inhale it up. Exhale, knee behind knee, hover down. Find your way down. Once again, test out those sit bones. If they're not solid, let the left leg come out in front of you. The whole right foot onto the earth. Sit up tall. Engage through the belly and let your shoulder blades release down the back. Now we'll take a twist to the right. So again, light in the hands. We're not just going to crank our body around. We're going to let the muscles find our way here. And then all the way back around for your counter pose. This time, go ahead and make sure that you have your pillow nearby, something to sit on the edge with. So you're at the top of the mat. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. But let's come up into a table posture. This is the way I like to take Gomukhasana. So once you're in your table posture, bring your left knee on top of right knee. And then see my feet behind me? We want to make a nice big landing pad between your two ankles. First indication that this is not a hip opener for you is if your ankles can't come apart. All right? And I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do instead. Same good stuff for outer hip. It's just on your back. For those of us who can find a little bit of a landing pad, let's go ahead and move the sit bones between the ankles. Here's where I like to kind of place my sit bones on the edge of the blanket. Keep your feet flexed, knee on top of knee, sit up tall, and then take yourself a forward fold. Now we should feel some really good energy in this hip posture. So a little bit of an opening in the outside of your hips, perhaps. For those of us couldn't find that opening, we're going to just do the same thing, just kind of like how we started. We're going to find knee on top of knee and then draw the knees into the belly. So let's take a good 8 full deep resting breaths here in our Gomukhasana. Either forward folding, for some of us it just might be just sitting here. Exhale. So sometimes we think of a hip opener as a time of relaxation. Today, let's think of it as exertion. So really squeeze the inner thighs together. On your exhale, create some more space by pulling belly button towards your spine. Keep the feet flexed. There'll be time for rest at the end of the practice. Once again, just enjoying the feeling tone that you're creating. All right, come out. We're just going to come up onto our knees, or if you're on your back, just unwind and join us here in table posture. Now, right knee on top of left. Once again, make yourself a big space between the ankles and find your way into your Gomukhasana on this side. Knee on top of me, squeeze. Feet are flexed. There's work putting those shoulder blades down, especially when we've got some exertion. We tend to do this. So the work is, can we find that our shoulders are moving away from earlobes? Go to your edge. You know it well. You've seen it before. Full deep breaths. Alrighty, coming all the way back up. Let's remove the pillow from underneath the sit bones for now. Feet out in front of you. And place the soles of the feet onto the earth. Sit up tall. Now, keeping your hands out, let's go ahead and sort of move our knees to face the left side of the mat, and then up, and then knees to the right side of the mat. Now, if that just feels like too much exertion right now, please feel free just to take yourself over, giving yourself a Bharadvajasana kind of twist. But those of us who want to continue to work into the core, we will just find our feet coming up, and knees to one side, up, and knees to one side. All right, so let's just, again, almost like whirling dervishes, right? Just feel our bodies moving with the energy of the universe. We can do this because we've tapped into something a little bit bigger than we are. All right, give it another 2 goes, wherever you are. And then we'll come back to the center. Find yourself a mellow Navasana. So soles of the feet connecting to the earth, sit bones plugged in, belly engaged, sit back. Now you can continue to keep your feet on the earth here. You can even hold on to your Knees, just so you can keep your shoulder blades down the back. We want that feeling of crunch here in the belly. Keep your head on straight. 3 more full deep breaths. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Last deep breath. This exhale, vertebra by vertebra, round through the spine. See how slowly you can come down to the mat. Once you're down, bring your knees up into the belly once again. Rocking side to side, a little countering here of all of that work in the belly. And once again, let's bring our feet up to the sky. Now, if this is just hard on the hamstrings, once again, you can find your hands underneath your sacral spine. Give yourself a little bit of a boost here. Wherever we are, let's find our way into a wide V. So, if you have your hands under your sacral spine, maybe this is enough. We're just working with the exertion of finding our way, holding the legs up, press out through your heels. If your hands are out from underneath your sacral spine, bring them together in front of you, palm to palm. Now this is very subtle. On the next exhale, we just want to bring our shoulder blades up and our tailbone up, and then everything down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale it down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale it down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale it down. 4 more times on your own breath. And then everything back into the middle. Drop your heels to the earth, hands to the sides of the body. Lift your hips up. Feel that stretch now in the thighs, in your quads, maybe binding your hands behind you, lifting up into the hips, lifting up into the heart. Let your breath be a counter to all that crunch. Keep engaged in your inner thighs. So squeeze that invisible block. And when you're ready to come out, come on out. So we'll set ourselves up for an inversion. I like to end my practices with a block underneath the sacral spine in my bridge, and then just lifting my feet up. But if you have a wall nearby, legs up the wall, or if you've been doing so much belly work, if you have a heated inversion, a headstand or a forearm stand or a handstand even, that you'd like to try, we've got our belly nice and warm now. So that should be helping me today. Whatever it is, let's just find our way into some mode of turning our lives completely upside down. All right, taking your appropriate counter pose for your inversion if you took one. So heated inversion is always child's. For those of us in shoulder stand, fish pose. In fact, I always kind of like fish even with the waterfall, hands underneath the bum, onto your elbows. I like to scooch my bum over my hands a little bit deeper so that I can get the crown of my head located on the mat and then lift up into my heart. Full breath in and out. And then we'll release to Shavasana. Of course, if you have something you'd like to do with the body in the meantime, supine twist, happy baby, somehow just to let yourself fully relax. Maybe you need a little bit more exertion before we can find the rejuvenation. But then, rejuvenation. We will sit or lie down, lie down in Shavasana. So today, let's really take Shavasana the way it's meant to be taken. Find some space between your legs, between your hands and your torso. Maybe bringing the palms of your hands to face up to the sky. Feeling the shoulder blades flat on the earth. So give yourself a moment just to recalibrate if you feel that one shoulder blade is heavier or higher than the other. So feeling your pelvis on the earth. If you feel a little tweaky in your lower back, here's where we would grab for the blocks or some pillows and place them underneath your knees. The feet kind of splay out a little bit. Completely relax your feet. Let your eyes glaze over as you look at the ceiling, or let your eyes close. Beginning from the very tip of your big toe, feel this relaxation growing on the soles of your feet, your heels, your calves, the back of your knees. Feel the relaxation growing on the backs of your thighs, your buttocks, your lower back, your upper back, your shoulder blades, the backs of your arms, your elbows, your forearms, the back of your hands. Feel it on the very top of your shoulders and feel the relaxation growing from that one point on your skull. Feel this relaxation just coming and enveloping you, just like a vine. It's coming to the front part of your body, just wrapping you in comfort and cool rejuvenation. So as we close our practice, I promised you that I would read Sutra 88 from the Radiant Sutras. So here it is. Wander and wander to the point of exhaustion. Whirl until you lose all control. Dance until you're ready to drop. Then drop. Fall to the earth. Surrender to the swirl of sensations surging through your form. Dissolve in awe as arising energies continue the dance in your inner world. Beyond motion and commotion, become the body of ecstasy. All right, dear hearts. So wonderful to see you. Gisela, I'm so glad you joined us here for the yoga of exhaustion. I'm going to end the stream. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and let me know what I can do for you. Follow me on lostandfoundyoga.com. And Miguel, so wonderful to see you today. I felt your energy. I felt that Tuesday morning Arlington studio energy. Man, so good to see you. But anyway, dear hearts, lovely to see you, Stephen. Felt your energy, always feel your energy. Okay, namaste all. I'll see you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Please do tell friends. And feel free to share this video with any and all that need it. All right. Namaste, everybody.